Alright, hey there guys, welcome back. Let's get talking about this new hotfix update. That's pretty cool. They did fix a lot of stuff. They didn't fix slave drivers spawning out slave drivers, so you gotta be careful not to run a premium version and non-premium version. But compared to all the stuff that they did fix, like this list here, that's not the biggest worry. So most of the crazy exploits and stuff are fixed, which is awesome. I know I'm a little bit late on covering this, but I wanted to actually play it for a bit to actually get a feel for it. We got the Premium Keg Weekend, which is definitely awesome. Not sure if this is because they missed out on a lot of money and need to make up for it from the holidays, because people were mad so they didn't really buy the holiday pack, or people were like me and didn't buy the holiday pack because the chances of getting new cards in that were so low, and it's like I don't feel like buying 30 kegs and seeing like 2 new cards. So either way, we win. Premium kegs this weekend, pretty cool. That's awesome. Kind of wish. And they were cool about it because they did it right after they released the new ranked, so you got all those kegs to add to the premium kegs. They didn't make people spend all their kegs that they got from the ranked season and then give you these premium kegs. So that's pretty cool. And then we got some new card arts that are leaked, and these look just amazing, like 100% premium quality for sure. Like, I want these 3 premium. I didn't think the art would get cooler, and then they come out with show these 3. Yeah, the art team on this game is amazing for sure. I mean, whatever, the balancing team and stuff, they got it, they'll get it together, but the art team for sure has it together, which is kind of why it's annoying that they removed the names of the artist on cards. But yeah, they're still making awesome art and even better art. Then we got, Spies were removed. Ooh, not supposed to show you that. Spies were removed from the great cards, which is really good. Glad they made that this patch. I mean, the summoning circle spy thing is still a thing and is really deadly. So, I mean, if you're running a disloyal unit, you might as well run summoning circle. And if you don't want to run a disloyal unit, then you don't have to run summoning circle. Just make sure after they play their disloyal unit that you don't play a gold, or else they're going to get that card advantage combo. And Nilfgaard can still play 3 disloyal units with Yennefer. Where is she? Oh no, those are leaders. That's right, they organize them by leaders, then units, and this one, because you can play 2 summoning circles if you have her. So you could still play 3 disloyal units in a turn and then ignite them all away. Kind of annoying, but I mean, nobody really runs it. I still do run into disloyal unit, into summoning circle, into summoning circle fights, but that's that. I mean, it's not... You don't have to run both. You have to run both of them if you're running disloyal unit, but if you're not running disloyal units, their summoning circle won't get them 2 disloyal units anyway. Unless you play a gold or a spell right after they give you their disloyal unit, so don't do that. These are the decks that I actually kept because I had to go through and delete a bunch of decks. So these are decks I'm actually still liking in the new patch. We got my Reltic deck, of course. This one still works. I just actually did a couple games with it and won still. Surprised that this deck's still viable. Nova Armor, of course, that one's fun. Siri Nova's always fun. And of course the Dwarf stuff, Alchemy Usurper. Winch, this deck actually still works really nice. It has the same weakness as Consume, well, one of the weaknesses, which is Swears. So Swears kind of sucks with this deck. But besides that, deck works out really well. I really like that one still. Then we got Armor Radavid because that's fun. And Spies, I'll be going over this one because Usurper and Spies is amazing. Oh, it is so good. Then of course Meta and Siri Brover because Scolito's top tier. And this one, this one I'm still messing around with. I'll probably do this one tomorrow. It's an Ogre's deck, which is pretty fun. It's not top tier yet at all, I mean, but it's still strong. It's sort of like the Reltic deck, so we'll be going over that one next time. And also with the new patch, they didn't change any of the wording on cards, of course, because it was just a hotfix. So we still got, I mean, it's not such a problem for us because we know how the cards work in this game, and we know what they're supposed to do, but I mean, we got a bunch of new players coming in, and things like Radvid telling that it only locks enemies instead of toggling their lock is a problem. Then we got things like harpies, of course, which say if you kill a friendly beast during your turn, whenever you destroy an allied beast, this thing also activates if your opponent has frost on your side and technically kills your beast on your turn, so it'll summon this. These are just weird wordings that like were fine and then they changed them for some reason into these things that don't make sense, like Olgerd and Morkvarg no longer tell you that how much they go in half by if they're on an odd number. But and the weirdest thing is this guy, bug or not, I don't know, because I mean Usurper can grab him. Like they had to mess up hard on this to make this a bug. Because I mean it costs 800 craft. Oh no, that's for the premium version, duh. But it's that silver card, but it turned into a leader all of a sudden with this patch. They have not said, I don't think, I can't find it if this is a bug or not. Because I mean, the new leaders are for the new game mode, like you're only going to be able to pick from the RNG leaders in the new game mode, then Usurper would be the strongest for sure because he can grab you a leader unit, which is a gold, and most of the other ones only grab you silvers and bronzes. So maybe, just maybe, they meant to do this because he works like Aced. Where's Aced? That card, this guy. Yeah, spawn a bronze Tursec soldier. So this might be on purpose. Who knows? But either way, I mean, if it's on purpose, it makes sense. Kind of cool that they kept them as a silver for a bit so we could craft them. If this is a bug, it's just weird because they didn't even change anything on this card. So how did you turn him into a leader and a gold, but still keep the silver value? It's just the weirdest thing. But yeah, then we got the change to Aced, who will no longer summon you veteran, which makes no sense. I mean, veterans weren't even that strong, so there was no reason to remove him. It should just be a bronze Tursec unit and not a soldier, because like you could play four of them easy without using things like decoy, summoning circle, restore, and they don't boost in the graveyard or this guy unless he's on the field. So I mean, they weren't strong. Like your best thing was to boost up the clan Beastmasters and play them, but you can't sit there and make 7, then an 8 tempo play, then a 9, a 10, and keep up with the crazy tempo that decks have. So yeah, we're still in the tempo meta, of course. That's pretty much what the meta is slam points down on the board. I think that's mostly because Scullytull is so popular. So lock units and stuff don't really affect them. Scorch doesn't really affect them because all their units, they get them that 13 to 15 value on every play, but it also keeps them safe from things like Scorch, Igni, not so much Swears, unless they're running Mahakam Guard, because you can shut down a Dwarf deck if they're not running Mahakam Guard along with the Mahakam Skirmishers by just Swearsing their Skirmishers, and then they'll have a bunch of dead Dwarf units. So that is one thing that can shut them down in a control scenario, but besides that, it's mostly because Scullytull is so popular, and yeah, there's no good lock units or anything except for maybe their Hawk or Smuggler if they run one of those. So overall, new patch. I mean, the hotfix, it was mostly just a hotfix, but they did change a couple things. It's alright. I mean, I'm not liking a lot of the RNG stuff, of course, unless I'm just trying to have fun like Usurper. I'll have fun with that. But he is actually competitive in the Spies deck, of course, so that's pretty crazy. Cards that sort of need to be changed, I think, are Winch. Winch is definitely strong, but that'll just become weaker if they add in a bunch more bronze machines, so it's not so easy to pull off the Winch combo. Then slave drivers are a problem. I hate slave drivers because they're just so good against so many decks, except for Scullytull. They're all right against Scullytull. But yeah, slave drivers, just because they can use your own deck against you and get +2 value on your own cards, and some decks, like armor decks, having them grab one of your armor units is very, very bad. One of your armor eaters, so they can eat your armor, is bad, and then they have their alchemy package with it, which can be pretty crazy. And then they can play up to 6 of these with poultices. Really don't like this card. Some of the fun RNG, of course, is Uma's Curse and stuff. Fine with that, because there's just such a big pool of random crap that you're probably going to get screwed, and every now and then you'll pull off something cool that's fun. Same with Shoop, but I mean, you can make a viable Shoop deck with Scully Toll. That's mostly because you can make Scully Toll viable with almost anything, just because of Ithelin and Ivarith. These two cards are just crazy. I think they need to change Ithelin. Just completely rework her, because the fact that she plays a boon or hazard or spell from your deck twice really limits them in building. Because if you think about it, Tremors is an alright play. Like, Tremors is a decent tempo play. Does 1 damage to everything on your opponent's side of the field, and if you kill something, you get to get a 6 power unit on top of it. So that's a decent spell. Like, this card can be ran in some other decks too. But since Ithelin can play it twice, it becomes a crazy spell and just gives you a huge amount of tempo in one play. This is that's how it's gonna kind of limit them in spells unless they change her, so she can't grab spells. Because Tremors is fine, just Ithelin playing it twice in a row is not fine. And then Ivarith, of course, all the other dual units have to duel with themselves. Even Northern Realms dual unit, like this guy, Celtric, duel an enemy, 3 armor. He's a 7 power with 3 armor, so he can give you a decent amount of value, but he himself has to duel. Like, oh yeah, I pulled the premium from the premium keg event, which I was happy about. Yeah, but he himself has to duel, which is what makes him alright. But Ivarith getting to choose 2 enemies to duel each other is just crazy. It should be you have to choose an ally and an enemy to duel each other. That would make it much more balanced and still be a good card. I have no clue why you can just make 2 enemy units duel each other. Then of course we have Isengrim. Isengrim is a bunch of crap. They need it, I don't know. The fact that the Silver Elf slots are just all like tech cards. You have a lock card, a tempo play card, a weather clear card, and him being able to RNG out answer cards. I don't like that. Definitely don't like that. I hope they don't come out with more stuff like this, since we know they're making more RNG cards. But I'm pretty sure it's inevitable, so hopefully they give us drafts soon. But yeah, that's what I think of the patch so far. I mean, dwarfs are still crazy. They're probably going to nerf some of them. I mean, their bronze and silver slots aren't too bad. They're pretty top tier plays, but when you have top tier bronze and silver slots and then you just have god tier gold slots, that's why it becomes a problem. So I'm pretty sure they can just leave their silvers and bronzes alone and just fix like Ithelin and Ivarith, because these 2 cards are just crazy value. Like, you can't win, you can win against dwarfs, of course, with something like Consume or Axemen if they don't RNG out their weather clear unit. But with these, like Ithelin, you get punished for playing a long round. With Ivarith, you get punished for playing bigger creatures. So it's really tricky to play around both of those at the same time, unless you're running dwarfs themselves, because they don't have the bigger units. They get most of their power off being an all-right sized unit and then hurting your opponent's unit with the rest of the damage. So, yeah. Scully Toll probably seeing something. Also hope that they fix this spotters or poultices. Like, they either make spotters a 6 power, or they make cards like, whereas a Wyvern Shield and stuff have a cap on them, to where they can only take like up to 10 power from a revealed unit, or 11. Like, that's still a 16 power bronze. That's pretty strong. Like, cap it out at 11 or something. Like, Becker's Twisted Mirror got capped at 10 because it was just too strong when it was able to do infinite. Because if you had a 1 power and they had like a 20 power, which was just god tier back then, you could just get a huge tempo swing by taking that power. So they made it down to 10. Now it doesn't really see play. It'd probably be alright with 16. And then it fixed the Wyvern Shield problem too, because that deck is just crazy if you get to pull it off and they don't run Double Scorch. Only thing keeping it out of top tier meta is it's not consistent enough. If you play it over many games, you're not always going to get your reveal unit and your Vesmir and your high-powered unit that you need. Like, you need those 3 cards and you only run 1 of each, so that becomes a problem. It also is weak to Master Disguise since you only have 1 reveal unit. But I mean, nobody really runs Master Disguise unless you're running that Scorpion deck that I made. That's really fun. So, yeah, kind of rambled on here, but that's my thoughts about the new patch, hotfix stuff. Can't wait for the next one with balancing changes, hopefully, and text changes. Like, the text, like, here's a good example. This create a bronze unit from your opponent's starting deck. He should say create another bronze unit from your opponent's starting deck. Because I did not even know slave driver grabbing slave drivers was a bug, since he doesn't say that he can't grab himself. So, yeah, he's still bugged and he needs to be reworded. So, don't run a premium and normal version of him or you're going to get screwed over in a mirror match if you're running an alchemy deck. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Gonna get into the deck profile and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one.